Good evening, everybody. To start the meeting, let's stand for the pledge.
Flag, United States of America, to the republic, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Board President to advise members of the audience that they may address the board regarding agenda item after the superintendent's report. Only those members whose names and addresses are listed on the sign-in sheet available prior to the start of the meeting will be recognized during new business. Chairperson will limit discussions of any item by the public to 3 minutes in order for the board to expeditiously conduct its business. I'm going to turn over to Mr. Manzo for the superintendent's report.
Good evening, thank you, Mr. Dorgan. This past week we had a successful freshman orientation and curriculum fair at the high school. It was very well attended by both parents and students. I would like to thank the administrative team, guidance counselors, and staff who were instrumental in putting this event together. It was well done. Thank you. Both the high school and middle school are gearing up for midterms exams. That should be taking place in the next few weeks. The schedules have been posted on the website by school, as well as a message has been sent out via Parent Square. Our winter sports teams are doing well. I would just like to point out that our middle school girls volleyball team had an undefeated season. Did a great job. Kudos to the team and the coaches on the nice accomplishments. We have the East Islip High School varsity cheer team. They will be competing at the UCA's National High School Cheerleading Championship in Orlando, Florida in February. We wish them the best for a successful competition. I would also like to wish our best to our girls and boys 4x400 relay teams. They have both qualified for the prestigious Melrose Games, which will be held on February 11th at the New York City Armory. Congratulations and best of luck. And one last thing is just a reminder, the middle school production of Shrek is taking place on February 2nd at 7 p.m. with an additional matinee performance on Saturday, February 3rd at 2 p.m. A snow date has also been built in for Sunday, February 4th at 2. So fingers crossed. At this time, I would like to turn it over to Mrs. Nacarado and Mr. Bellotti for tonight's presentation.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for giving Mr. Bellotti and I the opportunity to highlight some wonderful things that are happening with our friends at the K-2 buildings. Mr. Bellotti's going to say a few words.
Yes, it really is a pleasure to be here tonight, and as Ms. Nacarado just said, to give us the opportunity to show some things that we do on a K-2 level. We all know that we're here to educate our students academically, reading, writing, math, but just as important is character education, and that's what we're going to show you tonight. We want our students to be fluent academically, but we also want them to be responsible citizens. And to that end, we hold all sorts of events, as we're going to see in one moment, to reinforce this. As an example, one thing we do in Connecticut Elementary during the holiday season is our turkey trot, where students dress up like little turkeys and they trot around the building, and as they come around, they donate food to give to needy families in our community. Well, tonight, we can hear a couple more things from Ms. Norby, Mrs. Newman, and Mrs. Kremer about some of our events that are done during this time.
Hello, my name is Jenna Norby and I'm a kindergarten teacher at Timber Point.
My name is Danielle Newman and I'm a first grade teacher at Timber Point.
And my name is Nicole Kremer and I'm a first grade teacher at Connecticut Elementary. So something that we did for the month of November and December at Timber Point was we hosted the Great Bedtime Story Pajama Drive. And at Connecticut Elementary, we did a mitten tree drive. Each month in the elementary schools, there's a character trait that we focus on. Both of the drives took place in November and December.
So the character trait in November, we focused on gratitude, and the character trait that was focused on in December was generosity. So having the drives, both of these drives run at this time in November and December, gave us a nice opportunity to be able to use our curriculum and have the students and us as well apply it to real life situations in the community to give back. So here's a little bit more information on what the Great Bedtime Story Pajama Drive looked like.
So the Great Bedtime Story Pajama Drive is a partnership effort between the Pajama Program and Scholastic. In the school, we collected pajamas for children aged newborn to 13. After the pajamas were donated within the community, Scholastic was kind enough to match our donations of pajamas to give brand new books to the children that we benefited. This is my class decorating pajamas, serving as an introduction to the drive. And towards the end of the drive, this is also my class counting the pajamas we collected in their small groups, putting them into groups of 5.
And then this is my class. We had the pajamas that they kind of decorated as, in the beginning, a little introduction to what the pajama drive looked like, why we were doing it, and then we had counted using or grouping the pajamas in groups of 10s and 1s. And then my class and Miss Norby's class, we came together at the end to count a grand total.
So at the end of the drive, our classes were able to collect and donate 117 brand new pairs of pajamas to Suburban Housing and Research in Bayshore.
And with that, Scholastic was so kind and generous to be able to match the same amount of the number of pajamas donated by giving each student a brand new book, and it was given back to students facing adversity within the community. So 117 pairs of pajamas, 117 pairs of books, and it was perfect during the time in December, around the holiday season. Oh, 3. It was really fun.
They enjoyed coming together as well.
Okay, so at Connecticut, we did the mitten tree. Basically, at Connecticut, what we do is we set up a tree in the lobby on December 1st, and what we do is we send home a little flyer. We put a little cute poem, and we tell the families at home that we're asking for hats, mittens, gloves. Usually we just do gloves. We opened it up to like all winter items this year. And they can be any size, any color, and we're gonna try to collect as much as possible, and we'll donate them to the children in our community who need it the most. And these are really cute pictures. The kindergarten, first, and second grade students got the opportunity to walk in the school building each morning and hang up their items that they brought in, or they brought it to the classroom, the teachers walked down the whole class, and the class got to go all together, whoever had donations. These are just more pictures of students hanging up their mittens, their scarves, their gloves. And it's really cool to see too, because there was like a little read aloud that we did called the mitten tree, so they understood what they were doing. They understood that they were helping somebody else in the community, and they were really excited about it, which was pretty cool. And here's more pictures. And actually the tree was overflowing, then we had to put boxes on the side too, which was really sweet to see. But it was really fun for the students and also for the teachers and everyone to see all the donations that the families contributed, which was really nice as well. And at the end, we had at least 3 bags full of scarves, mittens, hats, gloves, and I donated them to the Church of St. Mary in East Islip. And then when we were donating all them this winter to all the kids in need this winter. It's just really sweet to see, all the schools work together and help out our community as much as possible. So thank you guys.
One last, we'd just like to thank Danny and Jenna and Nicole for spearheading this at both of our schools. We really appreciate it. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nacarado, Mr. Bellotti, Ms. Newman, Ms. Kremer, Ms. Norby. I really appreciate your presentation. It's very nice to see our kids really participating in these type of activities and giving back to the community. So thanks again. That's all I have.
Thank you, Ms. Manzo. Thank you again for the presentation. Public comments on agenda items only. Any public comments on agenda items? Certified personnel, be it resolved upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education approves the resignations, terminations, leave of absences, position abolitions, employment appointments, tenure appointments, and salary changes in accordance with the applicable provisions of education law and civil service law as cited in the certified personal attachments. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Non-certified. Be it resolved upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education approves the resignations, terminations, leave of absences, position abolitions, employment appointments, tenure appointments, and salary changes in accordance with the applicable provisions of education law and civil service law as cited in the non-certified personal attachment. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone need anything removed from the consent agenda? Be it resolved upon the recommendation, be it resolved that the Board of Education, upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, hereby approves the consent agenda items 8.1 through 8.2 in accordance with the action presented for each item. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No, Mr. Dorgan, I'll abstain. I should have asked for the minutes from December 14th to be removed. I wasn't there, so I'll just abstain from the vote.
Duly noted. Mrs. Zachary, are you abstaining from the entire consent agenda or a particular item in the consent?
It passes. I'll just abstain from that.
Okay. Just easy. (9.1) Be resolved that upon a recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education hereby approves the attached list of appropriation changes for the 2023-24 school year. A motion?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
9.2. Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education hereby accepts a donation of a Yamaha drum set, including hardware and B&B series cymbals from Mr. Thomas Baroli, a community member. The cost of the drum set is estimated to be about $300 and will be used that by the students. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much for that donation. 9.3. Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education hereby accepts the donation of the attached list of books from Joseph Costa, a local author, to the Tim Point Elementary School Library. These books have been read and are appropriate for the library. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much for that donation. Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education hereby accepts a donation of the attached list of books from the Rubiniano family, East Islip residents to JFK School Library. The books have been approved and are appropriate for the school library. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much for that donation. Old business. Anyone have any old? New business. Dr. Bells?
Under new business, we have policy 9550 that I briefly mentioned at the last board meeting. It is a new policy that will be on the agenda the next board meeting for approval. It's required by federal law, and our counsel, Ingerman and Smith, have reviewed it and provided this document for us.
Thank you, Doctor. Anyone else have any new business? No?
A few things.
Sure.
I had the pleasure of going to the Rocky Gilmore tournament this past weekend, and I have to give kudos to Mr. Restivo, the coaches, Longobardi, Esposito, Coppinger, and Corcoran, the wrestlers. the parents involved. It was a very well-attended event, and everything went off fine. Also, I want to congratulate the varsity wrestling team. I think they're League 5 champs. And as we're talking about wrestlers, I want to send my condolences on behalf of the board and the school to Guy Leggio. His father, Jumper Leggio, passed away January 5th. He was in the National Wrestling Hall of Fame and New York State Wrestling Hall of Fame. As you probably are aware, Guy was a wrestling coach for many years. He's also a school board member in Bay Shore, so I'd like to send my condolences to that family. The other thing is on January 18th at 6 o'clock, there's going to be a fundraiser for the football team at Fatty McGee's. I believe monies are being raised for rings and jackets.
Not jackets.
Just rings, the Long Island Championship rings they're going to be getting. So if you can attend, it would be a great event. Oh, Ms. Champy has tickets, figures.
I know someone.
How much are they?
20.
They're $20 each a ticket. Plus you'll get to see me and Jessica there.
Anybody else, any new business? I just wanted to thank Mr. Bernard and all the high school administration, as well as the directors for the orientation that Mr. Manzo was talking about earlier. My daughters are going to be moving into high school come next year, and they were very, very appreciative of having that orientation. They actually got very excited about a lot of the electives that are being offered throughout their high school career, and they were looking forward to it, so I just wanted to thank them for that. Thank you all for that, rather. The only thing I just wanted to mention too is Mr. Manzo mentioned about the Shrek performance. I'm also looking forward to seeing that as well, because our kids always do a fabulous job for all these productions, and I'm just waiting to see how this performance is going to be. I'm really eager to see it. That's the only thing I mentioned. Public comments? Any public? None. None. All right. Perfect. The next Board of Education regular business meeting will be held Thursday, February 15th, 2024, at 7 p.m. Can I get a motion? Adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a good night.